So now that we know what A is, we have the angle A and its corresponding side. And so now we can actually use the law of sines to find one of the remaining angles. Let's find angle C. And once we find angle C, we'll be able to find angle B by taking 180 minus those two angles. So remember that A over sine A equals C over sine C by the law of sines, and we won't pay any attention to B for now. So if we rearrange this a little bit, we cross multiply and solve, we find that sine C is equal to C sine A, C sine A over A. And now we know what A is and side C is and all that, so we can plug in. When we plug in and compute, we find that this is approximately 0.74, and so C is the inverse sine of 0.74, which is roughly 48 degrees. So now we know that C is 48 degrees. We can find that B is just 180 minus A, which is 70, minus C, which is 48, and that comes out to be 62. So there's how we can find the missing side and two angles using the law of cosines followed by the law of sines. Now is another example. So now we found B. Now we have an angle and its opposite side, so we can now proceed using the law of sines to find the other angles. So in particular, let's find angle A now. So the law of sines says that A over sine A is equal to B over sine B. Rearranging this and solving for sine A, we find that sine A is equal to A sine of B over B. And when we compute that using the angle B that we just found, this comes out to be about 0.875, and so we find that A is inverse sine of 0.875, and that comes out to be approximately 61 degrees. And just to be careful, there might be an ambiguous case here where we have to consider a different angle as well, but note that the complement of this, or sorry, the supplement of this would be 119 degrees, and there's no way that 119 and 89 degrees could both be angles in a triangle. They would add up to too much. So the only possibility is A is 61 degrees. And again, we avoided that by picking B initially to be the biggest angle. We know there can't be another angle that's obtuse if B is the biggest angle. Okay, so we found A, and then finally C is just going to be 180 degrees minus B minus A. So minus 61 degrees minus 89 degrees. And that comes out to be 30 degrees. So just as a quick comment, you might notice that this is almost a 30, 60, 90 triangle, and the sides are actually consistent with that. So C is 30 degrees, A is 61 degrees, and B is 89 degrees.